Hey guys, welcome back. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Missy. If you're new here, I am the mom of a drug addict. He has been struggling with addiction for 16 years, almost 16 years. It will be that in December. So we're just going to round up, okay? My son is currently incarcerated. He was originally arrested for DUI because he chose to use narcotics and get behind the wheel of his truck, and he overdosed and wrecked. And yeah, he spent his time. He did his time for the DUI. He was on probation in 2 other places for different charges. And as soon as he was released from the jail he was in originally, he did his 45 days, okay? And as soon as he was released, he wasn't even allowed to walk out of the jail. He was held over for the next county that had a violation of probation charge on him or hold on him, and he went to that county jail, and he has been there for 4 months awaiting his court hearing. 4 months for a violation of probation. Okay? So that court hearing was supposed to have happened Monday. And here is where the story begins that everybody's wanting the answer to what happened in court Monday. Well, let me tell you a story. So, as y'all know, Aiden and I did not go to court. We stayed here. Aiden was sick all weekend. I started coming down with it Sunday evening, I guess it was. I started fevering and did not feel well, which we had already decided we weren't going to go to court simply because Aiden didn't need to be there. Okay? But us being sick, all the things. So Kelly took off work, and she and her son, her oldest son, who is an adult, they went to court to be there to support Joseph. And they got there early. Court started at 9. I think she got there around 8:30 or so. They went in, found them a seat, and the man sitting in front of them, her son, said, "That's his attorney. That's Joseph's attorney." So court started, and there was, a lot of the Tennessee Department of Corrections inmates, jail inmates, and all that. They were brought in, and some of them were done via video. If they were an inmate in the county jail, they were on video. If they were a Department of Corrections inmate, they were brought in person. And they were going through them, okay? A lot of them were there for introducing narcotics or a substance to a penal institution. And a lot of them got a lot of years added to their sentence that they were in for. So she sat there for probably an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. Joseph's name was called, and his attorney got up, walked up to the judge. They couldn't hear what was being said. He came back and sat back down in front of them, and they took a recess, and she tapped him on the shoulder, and she said, "I am Joseph's wife, Can you tell me what's going on? And they went out into the hallway, and he proceeded to tell her that they didn't have his paperwork from the other county. So the deal was that there's supposed to be a hold placed on him from the third county, okay? So that he can run his time concurrent for the county he's in right now for violation of probation, and for the other county that he would have to spend time for violation of probation. I know, it's confusing. Same for me, okay? They don't have the paperwork. They're trying to get everything together so that they've had 4 freaking months. And y'all, I'm a pissed off mama, okay? They've had 4 freaking months to get this and to get their stuff together. They waited until the last minute, and now they don't have it together. Okay? So, he said that there was a continuance given Monday, and that they will pick it back up on Friday of this week. Now, y'all know that this has been a roller coaster for all of us. I have documented that. Okay? It's been a roller coaster for all of us. And we were ready for Monday to be done and over with. We just needed to know something, okay? We were all on pins and needles. Like I said, she took off from work. Her son took off from work so that he could go with his mama and have somebody there with her just in case, shit hit the fan. But yeah, they put it off. Hopefully, they'll have all their ducks in a row come Friday, and they will be able to get this done. Now, here's the kicker, okay? Follow along with me if you can. While all this was happening, Joseph's sitting in the jail, okay? So, Kelly and her son left, and they went back home. She called me, and she was telling me what had happened and, all the things, and I'm instantly pissed off. Instantly. I'm sick. I don't know if I'm sick from nerves or, if I've got Aiden's little stomach bug. I don't know. I just know that I'm sick, and that's not what I wanted to hear. Okay? We have already been through some BS with attorneys and all that, promising and not delivering. So, yeah, I'm pissed off. And then all of a sudden she says, "Hey, Joseph's calling. Let me talk to him and I'll call you back." Okay. Well, instead of calling me back, she just shows up here, which is fine. She had promised Aiden that she would come down and spend the evening and all that. And that's fine. So, yeah, she shows up, and Aiden is in the bedroom. He's watching something, one of his videos that he loves to keep up with. So, myself, Paps, and Kelly have a chance to sit down and have a conversation. And she tells us that when Joseph called her, that it was around lunch, okay? When he called her, he had no clue that they had continued it until Friday. Nobody had talked to him. Nobody had said, "Hey, nothing's happening in your case today. Not his attorney, not anybody at the jail, nobody. And actually, his attorney did not even attempt to contact him until about 5 o'clock that afternoon. And at that point in time, he told Joseph that it was his hope that this is what was going to happen. There wasn't this, kind of arrogance like there was last week, or like there was when he was talking to Kelly. We're going to get this done. This is what's going to happen. No, we're hoping to get this done. I know your attorney at this other county, so we're hoping to be able to get this done. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, the countdown is back on. It is Tuesday, and we have to make it till Friday in the hopes that these people can get their stuff together and get this done. Yeah. The legal system, it's a freaking joke. It is. It is. When somebody has to sit in jail, and we could have went and bailed him out. We could have gone and bailed him out. But there was no use in wasting, $2,000 or $2,500. I don't remember exactly what it was. When the other county, they were looking to pick him up anyway. So as soon, he probably wouldn't have walked out of this jail and got in a car with us before that county had a hold on him again. So, yeah, 4 months for a violation of probation. And we're still waiting. We are still waiting. Yeah. So my frustration is through the roof. We're still dealing with the stomach bug. I think that my anxiety and my nerves have amplified mine. I do not feel well. I am so done with this. So done with this. I don't know how else to put that. Not nicely, anyway. So, yeah. That's the update. That's where we're at. That's what we're doing. Okay? So, I'm on pins and needles again until Friday. Maybe beyond that. I don't know. We'll see. Clearly, nobody's talking to him. So, he doesn't have a clue. There's nobody for us to talk to. There's nobody for us to get information from. There is nobody that gives a rat's ass about any of this. Nobody. Nobody. And I'm done. I'm done. Okay? I'm done. I am one pissed off mama right now. And I'm done. Be kind, be loving, be supportive to each other, because you never know what somebody else is going through. you never know if they've gotten that text message, that phone call, that knock on the door. You don't have a clue. So just be kind, be loving, be supportive, no matter what. Much love.